Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about packaging that I actually like. So if you saw Friday's video, I made a video talking all about my packaging pet peeves, many of which were related in some way to the packaging being too bulky or too wasteful. But today I have a bunch of examples of brands who I feel like are doing packaging right. I want to see more packaging like this. I feel like these are examples of some more sustainable packaging ideas, and it kind of just shows that it shouldn't be that hard for brands to do these kinds of things. I have a really good mix here of both drugstore and more high-end products. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of put a positive spin on this topic and talk about some packaging that I actually really like and would like to see more of from brands. Okay, so one brand that I of course have to talk about in today's video is Athr Beauty. You guys know my love for Athr Beauty runs very deep. I love their eyeshadow palettes especially. I'm a longtime lover of the Rose Quartz palette, the original one. But the great thing about Athr Beauty's packaging is they use fully recyclable cardboard for all of their compacts and their palettes. And they also forego the mirror and the magnets in their palettes because those are two things that make most palettes harder to recycle. So when you're done with this, you can pop out the metal pans. I think you can recycle those separately. Then the outer packaging can be recycled just like any other cardboard packaging. They actually also have a mail-in recycling program where you can not only send back your Athr packaging, but they'll take any other brand's makeup packaging as well. So that's cool. I actually didn't know about that till just a few minutes ago when I was browsing their website. So definitely something to check out if you need a good mail-in recycling program. And on top of that, their makeup is just really good. I love their eyeshadow formulas. I have their Desert Sunset palette. This is a newer launch from them. Beautiful color story. I have a 3 looks 1 palette on this if you're interested in seeing some looks with that, but I love that one. I also, of course, you guys know I love their OG Rose Gold palette. They don't sell this version anymore, but they have a new version that's sort of similar. Their mattes especially are so ridiculously blendable. It's actually, like, it blows my mind every time I use them. They used to have these little elastic bands for closure on their palettes, but they actually got rid of those to make it even more low waste, and now they just kind of close on themselves, which at first I wasn't sure if I would like that, but honestly it feels pretty secure. And I feel like if you had this in a makeup bag, it would probably stay closed. Like, I don't think you'd really have too many issues with that. So I actually do like the new packaging better. They also recently sent me their Citrine quad, which is so pretty. Beautiful, like warm toned color story. I really like this matte kind of saddle brown color in there. I guess I'm going through my whole Athr collection. I also have their what is this? Their Ametrine quad, beautiful kind of rosy mauve quad. And then I also love their, I think these are discontinued. I hope they bring these back, but their crushed diamond highlighters are probably my favorite highlighters in my whole collection. They're very glimmery and sparkly, but they are the only more sparkly highlighter I've ever found that doesn't really like look too textured on your skin. Like, it still looks really smooth and just like there's nothing else like these that I've tried, especially Pure Diamond Dust. I mean, this just looks like a straight up gloss on your skin. I love these. I really hope they bring them back. I think they might just, hopefully they're just rebranding these because I know they did go through a rebrand recently. This is their old logo and packaging, so fingers crossed that they will bring those back. But anyway, all of that to say, I love Athr Beauty. I love what they're doing with their packaging. They are definitely a more pricey brand, but you can often get them on sale on their website or whenever Sephora has a sale. So I highly recommend checking them out if you're looking for some good low waste but really beautiful and luxurious products. So switching gears to a more affordable drugstore brand, I noticed that CoverGirl, you guys know I love their Clean Fresh setting powder. I noticed recently at the store that they have actually changed the packaging on this to have 35% less plastic. So I have the older packaging, but I'll put a photo on the screen of what the new packaging looks like. And this actually applies to all of their, I think all of their pressed powders. The Clean Pressed Powder, Clean Matte, Clean Sensitive, and Clean Fresh will now feature 35% less plastic. So essentially, I think what they did was, you can see in this old packaging, their packaging really wasn't too terribly bulky to begin with, but it did have kind of this like outer clear layer of plastic. So I think what they did was kind of streamlined it and made it just like one thinner layer of plastic instead. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of these brands, the brands I talked about on Friday that use like really bulky packaging, like this Kopari moisturizer has such a thick layer of plastic that's so unnecessary. I'm not necessarily asking Kopari to completely stop using plastic altogether, but if they would just reduce this thickness by like 50%, I mean, I'm assuming that would cost them less money, and it would save like 50% of the plastic that is being used in their product. So yeah, that's just a great example of a brand that has just reduced the amount of plastic that they're using in each product, and overall that's going to make a big difference, I think. So yay, CoverGirl. So then back on the opposite end of the price spectrum, I wanted to talk about Charlotte Tilbury, because I don't usually think of Charlotte Tilbury as like an overly sustainable brand per se. Like, they definitely don't market themselves that way necessarily, but they do have quite a few products that are refillable, and that was actually one of the main selling points that prompted me to purchase their airbrush bronzer. Aside from the fact that I'd heard really good things about it, and the tone of the lightest shade looked like the perfect light bronzer tone for me. This is actually what I'm wearing today, and I really do like this bronzer, by the way. It's very just easy and effortless to apply, and it just blends out so well. But one of the main reasons I bought this is actually because it is refillable. So you see this little hole in the bottom of the compact. You can take just like a bobby pin or something to poke out the pan, and you can just buy a refill. So that way, this beautiful compact that you've already bought, you can keep reusing over and over again. And to me, this is honestly a really good marketing tactic, because in my mind, knowing that this is refillable, when I'm done with this, I'm not going to want to throw away this beautiful compact. When I know that it's refillable, I'm going to be so much more likely to repurchase it, knowing that I can keep using this compact over and over again. And of course, the refills are cheaper than if you were to buy the full compact and the powder together. The full price of both the compact and the bronzer is $56, and the refill is $39, so obviously still expensive, but you also get a ton of product in here, and I just think more brands should be doing that. I mean, it's not that hard, and I think it's going to keep people coming back and repurchasing that product once they're finished with it. So I know it at least motivates me to want to do that. I was looking at their website, and they also do sell refills of their magic cream and a few of their other creams, I think, as well as a lot of their lipsticks also are refillable. So definitely something to check out, and I think it especially makes sense for luxury packaging like this, because who's going to want to throw away this gorgeous compact, you know? Another one of my favorite types of packaging is, it's going to sound super basic, but wooden pencils, wooden lip liners, wooden eyeliners. This is the Essence Soft and Precise Lip Pencil. First of all, this is like $3. Really nice lip liner formula. I have the shade Happy. Milani also makes wooden lip liners. They're color statement lip liners, and lots of other brands do as well. And I know there's definitely a demand there for retractable liner pencils. I mean, I get it. I definitely like the convenience of those too. But whenever I have the option, I actually do like to opt for a wooden pencil, because it's less plastic. Wood is a renewable resource, plastic is not. Also, apparently, wooden pencil shavings can actually be composted. So that's good to know. I mean, I do wonder about like, what about the paint or like the outer coating? I would hope that that's also okay to compost. But yeah, maybe look into that for yourself if you are a composter. And the other nice thing about wooden pencils is that you can really get the tip as sharp as you want it. Whereas with retractable pencils, they might start out sharp, like with a sharp tip, but as you use them, that sharpness is going to wear away, and then you're going to have a less precise tip. So I know a lot of people also prefer them for that reason. Another brand that I feel like does a really good job with their sustainability is EcoTools, and there's actually a few reasons why I like EcoTools so much. Number one, they actually have a biodegradable makeup sponge. That is my go-to. I actually don't have it right now because I am using up some of the other sponges that I have on hand, but once I run out of those, I will be repurchasing the Bio Blender. So according to their website, it's made out of just 5 ingredients: water, corn, bio-nanopol, natural preservative, and natural pigment. And apparently that bio-nanopol is the secret ingredient that makes it biodegradable and compostable. So that is super cool. I think that's the only biodegradable makeup sponge that I know of. Makeup sponges are one of those things that you do have to replace somewhat regularly, especially because there really is no way to actually sanitize them, and sponges do harbor a lot of moisture and therefore bacteria, so I just feel a lot less guilty about having to replace them so often when I'm using a biodegradable one. And I also love their brushes. They use like bamboo handles, but the thing I really love about their brushes is that they're on the more affordable side. Like, you can pick these up at Target, Walmart, CVS, wherever, but they last. Like, these brushes are very sturdy, much more so than any other drugstore brushes that I've tried. Some of these brushes I have had for over a decade. They're eye brushes. One of the eye brushes of theirs finally died, and I had to throw it away. As I was washing it, just a huge clump of bristles came out. But I had had that brush for over 10 years, washed it countless times, and it held up beautifully. But A lot of cheaper drugstore brushes, the ferrule will start to come loose after like a few months to a year, but I have not had that experience with any of these. I haven't had any shedding with these. They're just really sturdy and awesome, so that in itself makes it a lot more sustainable than cheaper brushes that are going to fall apart after a year or two. So highly recommend EcoTools, both their Bio Blender and their brushes I think are just fantastic. So next, for a skincare brand, I did complain about some skincare packaging that I felt was overly wasteful and bulky in Friday's video, but then the next day, as if they heard me, I received a PR package from Bliss with their new Mighty Biome collection, and these are all packaged in what they say is infinitely recyclable aluminum, which you just don't see a whole lot with skincare, but I hope to start seeing more of that because number one, it is still pretty lightweight. I do like glass packaging as well, but there is a problem with glass packaging where if you drop it on your bathroom floor, you're probably gonna have a mess on your hands. That's the nice thing about aluminum, is that number one, it's not plastic. It's easier to recycle than a lot of plastic skincare packaging is, and it's not gonna break. So there are 3 products in this line, and I think these are the only Bliss products that come in this type of packaging, but hopefully they'll start to switch over their other packaging to this style as well. But they have their Mighty Biome Deep Cleansing Balm. I actually think Good Molecules, which is the brand I haven't tried yet, also makes a cleansing balm in an aluminum tin, so that might be another one to check out too, but I just used this for the first time last night. I have to say, I don't know if I'm in love with it, to be honest. I felt it definitely didn't get all of my makeup off, and it felt a little bit waxy, but for the most part, it got the job done, so I don't know. But I do like that it's fragrance-free. Then they also came out with this Mighty Biome Skin Balancing Milky Toner plus Serum. This truly is, I was expecting it to be much more liquidy, but this is actually like a pretty thick toner. Like, you have to be kind of careful because the first time I used this, I got way too much because the top is just kind of open like that. But it has a very, very hydrating feel to it. I've been using it just for the past couple of days, and it feels really nice on my dry skin. So far so good. Doesn't seem to have irritated my skin at all. It just feels very soothing. So that is a cool little product. Also, I just think this is such a cute bottle. I love the color scheme here too, the peach and the light blue. Super cute. And then there's also this Mighty Biome Pre and Postbiotics plus Barrier Aid Ultra Hydrating Moisturizer Concentrate. This comes in an aluminum tube, which I also just love the feel and the whole experience of an aluminum tube. But again, so many squeeze tube products are made of plastic. It's just nice to see something different. And this I haven't tried yet, but I will definitely report back. But this feels so nice and hydrating. I think this will be a good like last step in my tretinoin skincare routine, and I really like that all 3 of these are fragrance-free, so that is awesome. So yeah, just happy to see that from Bliss, and I hope to see them continue to do more packaging like that. And it's also a pretty affordable brand. I think this line is exclusive to Walmart and their website, so definitely something to check out. I like that it's also a pretty accessible brand. Okay, and then the last brand I wanted to highlight today is CocoKind. So this is another more affordable, accessible brand. They're available at Target and Ulta, as well as the CocoKind website. And they use a lot of glass packaging, as you see here. So if you are on the clumsy side, maybe this would not be the line for you. They do also have some squeeze tubes as well. But the things I like about CocoKind, I do like the glass packaging because I do feel like I'm much more likely to want to reuse these once they're done. Like, I would probably, the Rosewater Toner, it has actually a really nice sprayer, so this might be something that I would decant other setting sprays into if I don't like the sprayer. Looking at you, Urban Decay, Vitamin C all-nighter. Or this would make a great little, like, I could use this to mist my plants. I also just really enjoy the experience of some really nice glass packaging. But the other really cool thing about CocoKind is when you buy their products and they come in like the box, which unfortunately I don't have need to show you today, but they have this on their website as well, where they will share like the sustainability facts. It's almost like a nutrition facts label, but it's for the sustainability. And I just really appreciate that transparency. They'll tell you exactly how to recycle all of their products, how to properly dispose of them, and also they list out the carbon emissions of the product per use and give you real-world examples of how that compares to, say, a commute or to a bottle of water, a cup of coffee at a coffee shop, things like that. So it gives you an actual idea of what the carbon emissions are of their products, which I just think is really cool. I don't know of any other brands that are doing it that way, so wanted to shout them out as well. They've also got some really good products. My favorite is the Ceramide Barrier Serum. This is so nice if you have sensitive skin, dry skin, you just need some barrier support. It looks interesting. Yeah, you see what I mean there. But it feels very, very soothing and just, it's just such a nice serum. So highly recommend that. That's my favorite from their line. I also like their eye cream. I also have here their Rosewater Toner and their Glow Essence. I don't really use these a whole lot because I prefer like fragrance-free toners for my skin. But this is a nice product to just kind of like rehydrate your skin throughout the day, or just kind of dampen your skin before applying serums. So, but those aren't really like my top favorites, but just a good brand to check out overall. I think they're doing some cool things, and I always kind of have an eye on what they're launching next. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today, but I just kind of wanted to follow up Friday's video with some examples of packaging that I really do like. I want to see more of these. I do think that we're headed in a good direction. A lot of brands are starting to be more thoughtful of, you know, their packaging and their environmental impact. I really do think it is the brand's jobs to do that, and of course we as consumers can support them when we can. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, are there any other brands you think are doing packaging really well? I would love to hear about that in the comments, but I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye!